Today I'm going to talk about ghost. Don't get scared. We are going to capture this ghost. Hello friends, this is Satvinder Bhatia from Sukhmani Immigration Services, Brampton, Canada. I'm a regulated and licensed Canadian immigration consultant. Today's video is very special because it affects everyone. Everyone, irrespective of the age group, irrespective of the color, it affects everyone. So please watch this video till the very end. Before I tell you what the video is about, I request you, if you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing. We talk a lot about Canadian immigration, news, update, tips and tricks on this channel. If you like the video, share it with your family and friends so that they can also benefit from this. So without further delay, let's get started about today's video. So today's video is about ghost of IELTS. Yes, ghost of IELTS. What is this ghost? How it's impacting us? I'll talk everything about it. So before that, I want to touch upon some important things. So Punjabi has at least 35 letters. Then Hindi has 45, Urdu has 36. But I don't know, when we talk about English, which has least 26 letters, I have seen people shivering. I don't know. They get so much shaken. Oh, IELTS, I don't want to go for IELTS. I don't want to do IELTS. This is the reaction. Yes, this is the reaction I see. I don't want to do IELTS. Why? And they tell me, you don't know. Have you given IELTS? So my answer is, I have given language test not once, not twice, not thrice, 4 times. So I very well know what IELTS is, how to prepare for the language test, what to do in a language test, how to score good, because I have a first-hand experience of appearing in these texts for at least 4 times. I did it for TOEFL, then I did IELTS twice, and of course then for an immigration consultant you require CLB. So 4 times I have done that, so I know, right? So now talking about IELTS. IELTS, the common questions which I get about IELTS, and I face these questions daily, is IELTS required for express entry? The second question I usually get is, can I immigrate to Canada without IELTS? A third very famous question I get is, IELTS required for work permit? The fourth question, and usually I get it from students or their parents, the question is, study visa can we get without IELTS? Last, is there any other option without IELTS? So these 5 questions, I will give you the answers of all the 5 questions. So before that, it is very important to understand what is IELTS. So let us see that. So Canada, why does Canada ask for this language test? Why can't they do without it? Because Canada has 2 important things, 2 official languages, and those languages are English and French. They are Canada's official languages. So you need to have proficiency and good language abilities in either of them at least. So if you are going for immigration, you have to appear for tests of either of them. So you have, as I said, English or French, 2 languages, and in each IRCC has given you 2 options. Under English you have 2 options, which is CLB, and the other one is IELTS. Under French you have 2 options, TCF and TEF. But the thing is, IELTS has become very popular, and because it's available all across the globe, and there are a lot of study material and things available on IELTS, so IELTS is much more popular than CLB. But you can, of course, you can go ahead and you can take the CLB test also for immigration purposes. So most popular IELTS. Now, what is IELTS? So IELTS basically, as I said, is the most popular English language test. IELTS comes in two flavors, two formats, academic and general. Academic is for college, universities, for admission purposes, and general is for immigration purposes. So acronym, IELTS is basically an acronym of International English Language Testing System, and it is designed for people to come, work, study, migrate to Canada, any of the countries where English is a native language, right? It could be Canada, it could be Australia, it could be New Zealand, UK, US, right? So all those countries, you need to have that language testing done. IELTS is jointly owned by three organizations: British Council, IDP Australia, and Cambridge English. So these three organizations own IELTS, and IELTS test your language abilities in terms of listening, reading, writing, speaking. That is the 4 areas. Now, one common thing, and people come here and many times say, what is this band in IELTS? So when we say band, a familiar picture comes in our mind, this kind of band, or is it this kind of band, or is it this kind of band, or is it a hair band? These are not the bands in IELTS. For IELTS, IELTS is graded from 0 to 9, where 0 is somebody who getting 0 is officially he has not attempted the test. He got so scared that he even not started the test, so not even attempted it. That is 0. So these grades are called bands in IELTS. So that's where the bands are in IELTS. Now, you understand what IELTS is, what bands are there in IELTS. Now, another term I'm throwing upon you is CLB. So you said we just learned about IELTS, we barely understood IELTS. Now you are putting up another term which is CLB. So CLB is basically a Canadian language benchmark. So government has certain criteria on the kind of testing you are there for the English language. So that criteria is called CLB. For French language, this criteria is called NCLC, right? So these are the government criteria for testing your mastery in English language and French language. Now, CLB, what happens is CLB and IELTS are two different things. So IELTS band score is between 0 and 9, whereas CLB is between 1 to 12. Now, there is a mapping, and I'm bringing that mapping in front of you. So this is the mapping, and suppose somebody got CLB 7, which means in IELTS he got 6 in listening, 6 in reading, 6 in writing, 6 in speaking. CLB 7. If you get 6 bands in each of the IELTS, your CLB level is 7. Self-pip, it is easy. Whatever you score, you get the same, right? It is, but IELTS, little bit confusing, right? Because IELTS is between 0 to 9 and whereas CLB is from 1 to 12. So you see, I have highlighted with golden yellow and light yellow this shaded area of CLB 9 and CLB 10. I'll try to explain you why this is golden and what is the reason behind it. So that is, the reason is magic. The magic of 8777. I'm sure many of you have listened to this term 8777. But what is the meaning of 8777 and how it is going to impact your score? That we are going to see in this. So the magic of 8777, right? So 8777 means that a person has got IELTS band score as listening 8, speaking 7, reading 7, writing 7. So other than listening, all 7 band score he has got. In listening, the band score is 8. So IELTS score, the are counted in two places, right? Your bands. The CLB is counted at two places. Where it is counted in express entry, two places. The first place is called 6 selection factor. So the second is your CRS score. So let us look at the out of those 6 selection factors, one of the factors is language. So let us see how this magic happens. So 8777 and its role in 6 selection factor. So as I mentioned, in the 6 selection factor, one of the factors is language. And language, you basically need 67 points out of 100 to make your profile in express entry. If you are not able to score 67 points, you cannot make your profile in express entry. So chances of getting into the draw are later on. If you can't make the profile, you won't be able to get into the line. So to make 67 points, 8777 plays a very important role, and let us see how. So first thing, minimum requirement is CLB 7. If you do not have CLB 7, then you cannot also make a profile in express entry. So now getting a CLB 7 and CLB 9, how is much different. So for language, you can get 28 points maximum. So in this, primary language gives you 24 points, secondary language gives you 4 points. So mostly people have English as a primary language and French as a secondary language. So if you are proficient in English as well as in French, you can take both the tests. If not, you can take English test or French test, whatever you are proficient in. If you are taking an English test, so the maximum you can score is 24. 24 is the maximum, right? So now if you get CLB 9, which is 8777, if you get CLB 9, you will get maximum 24 points. So you will get basically 24 out of 24. This is the magic of 8777. Now this is 8777 and CLB level 999. So that's why it is important to score CLB level 9 or 8777 and get the maximum score. Now, as I said, not only in this 6 selection matrix, the CLB level 9 plays a very important role. It plays also a very important role in CRS points also. So CRS points, 2 places, rather 3 places actually these are counted. So one is your core or human skills, and the other one is your skill transferability. So we'll look at both of the things. So the first thing, as I said, is your language area and CRS score. So language, if you look at the language, for CLB 7, you get 16 points. And this is those criteria wherein you are with a spouse or common law partner, right? You are married and you are with spouse, so you get 16 points for CLB 7. Whereas these 16 points translate to 16 times 4 is 64. So you get 64 points. But if you get CLB level 9, you get 29 points. 29 times 4 is 116. And if you make it to CLB 10, which is 32 points, and 32 times 4 is 128. So 128 basically is double of 64. So if you are just getting CLB 7, and whereas if you get CLB 10, huge difference, you get 64 extra points. And same now, if you look at without spouse, you get even more points. But don't worry, somebody who is with spouse should not be getting disheartened, because spouse also gets you the additional points. So that is why those are compensated. So that's out of discussion from this part. Now let us look at the other part, which is the second part in the CRS score. In the CRS score, education. So education, which comes under skill transferability, factors also gives you 25 additional points if you have CLB level 9. So if you have a bachelor's degree, master's degree or a doctorate degree, you get 25 points, whereas your education remaining the same, right? But if you have CLB 9 as compared to CLB 7, you get 50 points. For bachelor's 50, for master's 50, for doctorate. So that's where the major difference comes. So basically with CLB level 9, you can get 25 extra points. So that's one place. Now at the second place. So that second place is work experience. So work experience also is under skill transferability factor. Under work experience, if your work experience is 3 years or more, you get 25 CRS points. But that is with CLB level 9. With CLB level 7, with CLB 7 you get 25 points, with CLB level 9 you get 50 points. So that's where the major difference comes. Again, you have 25 extra points if you get CLB level 9. So there is also a 25 points gain with CLB level 9 in foreign work experience category 2. So this is the main magic of 8777. Now I have asked you some of the questions which I encounter many times. So let's see the answers to those questions. Is IELTS required for express entry? Mostly the answer you see is yes. According to me, the answer is no. Yeah, don't get shocked and don't get too happy. IELTS is not required for express entry, but language test is mandatory. You need some kind of language test. You can go ahead and take CELPIP, you can go ahead and take French test. They don't say that IELTS is required. All they are saying is language test is mandatory. So if you are still thinking what to do, then IELTS, yes, you have to do IELTS. So if you select English, then you have two choices, IELTS and CELPIP, and again you need minimum CLB 7 to make your profile in express entry. So this is the first answer. Then coming to the second question, can I immigrate to Canada without IELTS? So the answer to this is again shocking. The answer is yes. Yes, you can immigrate to Canada without IELTS. And there are not one, there are two ways. Now let us look at those two ways. The first way is your family class, and the second family class umbrella. I'll come to the family class. So the second way is refugee. So family class, under family class, for example, if you sponsor your parents to Canada, right, they come on PR, they don't need IELTS. Similarly here, and please listen very, very carefully. So what is happening here is, under the family class, there is spousal sponsorship also, and which is used and misused, and which leads to what is called as fake marriages, sham marriages. So please do not start walking on this route at all. This will create a lot of problems for you. So if it is a genuine case, great. If not, sham marriages and fake marriages under the law are punishable act. So please don't walk on this path. Second, again, this category is used and misused too much. Refugee. So refugee, I'll talk separately on refugee. It's a big topic. But for now, I can tell you, if you are a genuine refugee, go ahead. I come across so many cases daily in the office where people coming to us, you know what, I filed refugee from Montreal. So, now the refugee is rejected. Yeah, because it was not true, right? So the chances of getting rejection are very, very high. So now it is rejected. What should I do? I said, you know what, pack your bag and you have to go now. So it is very important, if you are a genuine case of refugee, go ahead and file the refugee case. If not, please do not walk on this path. Please. This will lead to problems for not only for you but for the generations to come. So that's second question. Question number third. Is IELTS required for work permit? Again, a shocking answer. No, IELTS is not required for work permit. You do not need IELTS for work permit. For that matter, you do not need actually any kind of language test for work permit. Employer's requirement is there. Employers say that you have to work here in Canada. You should know either English or French. It is the employer requirement, not government requirement. But important thing, officer still has the power. Somebody coming to him and saying, I am entering Canada. Okay, I have LMIA, I am entering Canada on work permit. Good. But I am not able to speak a single letter of English. So you got a LMIA of retail supervisor. You will be supervising certain set of people. You can't speak English, you can't speak French. Officer has the power to send you back. So remember that. And of course, work permit is not the end. It's a beginning, right? You have to get PR. Your final destination is PR. Again, when you have to get PR, you again need IELTS. So do not try to escape from IELTS. Do not try to shy away from IELTS. Do not make it as a ghost. Please do not get scared of IELTS. Sometimes I come across people, they say, it would have been so nice if I have been born here in Canada. Then I don't have to go for any kind of language test. Answer is wrong. Kids born here in Canada, who have studied, who have born here in Canada, they also need to go for what is called as a language test. For kids who are in Ontario, they have to go through what is called as OSSLT. So they also go through the English test. So please don't get scared. Don't make it as a ghost. Don't get scared of the IELTS. Prepare, do well. It's just a language. It's just like English, just like Punjabi, just like Hindi, just like Urdu. This is just a language. So if you get scared, the chances of getting good marks are very low. But if you prepare and go confidently, you can easily tame this ghost. Now, another thing, the fourth question which I get across is study visa without IELTS. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It is very much possible. Some universities and some colleges do accept other tests like TOEFL, like CAL, like Duolingo, like PTE. So it is not, IELTS is not mandatory for a study permit, right? It is not mandatory. If you have other tests, if university can accept it, excellent. And some universities actually, they can, and here is the catch, right? Earlier only academic was acceptable. But now there is a change of rules. Even general IELTS is also accepted by universities. Many of the universities, right? And some universities actually do not need IELTS at all. Suppose you are in a course which doesn't require any kind of English. Maybe you are in a Punjabi course here in Canada. So you don't need IELTS, right? So again, that's also dependent upon the course you choose, the university you select, the level you are in. So it is still, yes, it is possible to come to Canada on a study visa without IELTS. And the last question was, is there any alternative other than IELTS, which I have given you most of the alternatives which are there, CELPIP for immigration purposes, and of course you have TOEFL, CAL, Duolingo, PTE for for the study permit cases. So tried my best to help you to tame this ghost of IELTS. If you still are scared of ghost of IELTS, you can reach out to our office. Our office is located in Brampton. Email IDs and phone numbers are shared here with you. Again, if you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing. And once again, thank you very much for watching the video. Thanks.